Okay, here we go again.
Okay, going back to my lovely filters.
I told you maybe it's making it a little bit slower. I don't know.
شوفي عاد. Seriously? How about now? No filters now.
It's all clear.
والله no filters.
It's so clear. Okay, I hope it's
Is
gonna
it?
be
Okay,
okay.
cool.
Hold on. All right. Thank you guys for sticking with us despite the technical issues. I think it's time we just go for it.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Safia.
No,
You first.
je vais pas me faire prier. So,
Okay, go ahead.
it's better now. Okay, cool. So my question for you, Selwa, is what do you know to be true that you didn't know a year ago? Something that you know now that is true that you didn't know a year ago.
Wow. It starts very deep already. Okay, just a reminder, guys, you also can answer the questions, and we're very interested in hearing your answers as well. So please go ahead. Something new that I know. I think I just realized that we are stronger than what we think we are. That is something that I never really felt before until this year and the challenges we had. Spending 2 months alone in quarantine and other stuff, yeah, made me realize that God gave us all the resources, and really that verse when he says لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها always spoke to me, just hit me this year even more, that we are stronger than what we think. That is true. Like however you think of yourself, you are much more stronger than that. Alhamdulillah. That's what I have in mind right now. Okay, how about you?
Okay.
How about you, Safia?
It's very hard for me to pick one. I have 6 lessons that I've learned, but one which we have made a whole episode about it, which is know your value. So for me, what I know to be true this year I didn't know before is that I am the only one who can set my own value, and no one can. So it's up to me to define what I am worth. And I am worth a lot more than what people think. So yeah. That's my answer.
That's true for like each and every one of us. That's true. Yeah. Like people see you through your own eyes, through your own perception of yourself, and where you set the mirror. It's just like a mirror. The way you see yourself, people see you. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I have a positive, let's say, one to start with. What's the thing you are most proud of about this year? I think that's an easy one.
Yes, it's very easy. But I'm proud of this project. I'm proud of the podcast because a few years ago it seemed as if it was a big mountain, as if it was a big thing and I could not do it. But alhamdulillah, we got to do it. And what's more, we got to do it during quarantine, which is crazy because it just is a blessing. So yeah, I'm really proud of this project. How about you?
Yeah, same back at you. Yeah, same here for me. Just a reminder, guys, Sophia and I haven't met in 5 years or more. We've been saying that since February, so it's probably more right now in 6 years. And alhamdulillah, this project started out even despite of that. And despite quarantine, despite the social distancing, it was the idea of, hey, how can we bring connection and value? So for me, that is exactly the same thing. The thing I'm most proud of is this project. Um, I hope it brings value to people just as much we put care and intention into it. Please
Inshallah.
let us, guys. Okay.
All right.
All right. Your turn.
My turn again.
Question.
Okay, so you said that it was a positive question. It's another positive question, but it depends on from where you would see it.
Okay.
So, so what always brings tears to your eyes?
What always brings tears to my eyes?
Yeah.
Surprises. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Khushua moments for
Okay.
sure.
All
Mhm.
right. Okay.
And
Surprises. Hmm. No.
and
Okay.
simple beauty, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like I cry for things like a beautiful sunset. I mean, it sounds cheesy, but I really do cry for things like that. It makes me happy and sad all at the same time. Like, oh, how beautiful! What a great creator! I think because it is a khushua moment because whenever I see something like that, I'm like, Subhanallah, the one who created us is
Yeah.
tremendously creative, and just I feel so small at that moment, and I start crying.
True.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
It happened a lot this year since there was a lot of time for just watching sunsets, listening to birds and things like that
Yeah.
during quarantine. How about you?
That's for me. It's easy, and it's more related to beauty. Every time I see a beautiful thing, it might be just maybe a flower, something beautiful that I see visual, or I read, or I witness. Sometimes I just see, for instance, a scene, a family scene, or something like that
Mm,
as I'm walking in the street, or although like we walk all masks on, but I just love to see that, and it makes me cry to see how people care for each other and how people think of each other. I always like that, and that brings tears to my eyes. And
mm,
so you'd find me at every jury or les soutenances, for instance. I want to cry like every time. I just have to go out at the end because I know I will
mm,
cry because I love to see the
mm.
family, see everyone there. I know the effort, and I just love that.
Yeah. Last time I cried like a baby. Well, I cried way more many times. I cried a lot this past month anyway. But last time I cried like a baby was during a goodbye party for a colleague, and she was giving a speech and talking about each person, and I was crying way before she got to me. I was already resembling nothing. And I was the only one who was very shocked because everyone was put together and all of that. But it just, she was a very important person for me at
Mm.
work. So yeah, I don't do that for every colleague who leaves, but I mean, seeing someone go, someone that
Yeah.
brought you so much, that is, I just become a baby. All right.
Mm. All right. I think I was a good voice. I don't mind because
Okay.
that means it's the beginning of something new. Again, it's the start of something different and new. So good
Yeah.
job.
No, it's not necessarily sadness for sure.
Yeah, it's not sadness.
It's just an overwhelming emotions that speak. By the way, I mostly cry when I'm happy and rarely cry when I'm sad. That's a fact. So it's things that just a lot of emotions I don't know what to deal with and just cry about them.
Right
Okay.
on. Uh-huh.
I've got a similar question for the first one that you asked me, but slightly different. That's why it's important. What is something that you learned this past year that surprised you? Like you wouldn't expect that, or changed perception related to
Okay.
something or something like that.
Something that's different, and it's something that's very
Like
uh,
we didn't have expected to learn such a thing, or a new idea, or a switch in your perception,
I
you know?
switch. Yeah, there was a
Okay,
yes,
you're.
there was a switch. There are two big
Mhm,
questions, big answers that I got this year, and they
mhm,
are sort of linked. And that's what inspired us, by the way, for the series of the Wild Feminine. So for me, the surprising, the shift that I had and that moment I had to change how I saw things was related um, to honoring my feminine self, to just honor the way I am, because it just seems to me that for the last, I don't know, for the last years in my life, I was chasing something that I didn't know. I was just trying to achieve more, do more, get more done, and so on. And I just forgot about myself, forgot who I am. So when we had, for instance, Medina and we had Aida as well on the podcast talking to us about this wild feminine, the switch happened before. But when you
mhm,
meet these kind of people, these inspired ladies, you just have a more, you're just convinced that yes, you should get in touch with yourself. Yeah, and the thing that's linked to it is as a woman, you don't have to hide from power. You have to snatch it, take it, but take it in a feminine way. I'm not saying feminine just like take it like this, but we talk a lot about this in our podcast for those who are curious about different ways. So that's
mhm,
it. How about you?
mhm. I understand what you're saying so much, and we've already talked about this
Mhm.
many times. I think I had this shift only the year before or something like that, not so long ago. um, and but it takes a lot of time, like for you guys to understand. It's not just connecting to oneself, because once you start connecting to yourself, you realize there are a lot of layers, and you get deeper
Mhm.
and deeper and deeper in time. So, and at some point, you tap into something new, and this, like, a definition of femininity was always very blurry for me, and I guess for you too, Sophia. And I think we finally came to something that actually echoes to our true nature. And alhamdulillah, that's beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, that's why my word of the new year, because I choose a word for every year, as you know, and that would be question, is allow and receive. Um, while most of the year it was about doing and being out there, in this year it's rather the opposite. So
Yeah.
we'll see that. Something I've learned that surprised me, I guess it's gonna be again the same answer that I told you at the beginning. Maybe something else would be, um, something that hit me this year, and I was very shocked about it, is that my vision of success changed. And that's
Ooh.
something, yeah. Hi, Ahmed. Welcome to the conversation. You
And
are
and
welcome to answer as well if you'd like to. That's all. That was between brackets. Yeah, and that's something that is still changing, the definition of success, and that it's okay if how you used to see yourself changes at some point.
true.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So it's my turn now, huh? I just lose track of.
Hi, Jania.
Hi, Ahlan Ahmed. Thanks. Uh, yes. So I had this question for you, Salwa. I don't know if you have an answer for it right now or not, but anyway. So who are your mentors in life? Do you have any mentors in life, and who are they?
Whoa. I surely wasn't expecting these kinds of questions. And of course, there are some mentors for different areas, obviously. First thing that comes to my mind is Rasulullah Khadija radiallahu anha as well, because she represents the feminine leader, someone who's humble, generous, works with intention. So yeah, hi Chronique Vitaja and hi Feroz. Yeah, definitely those two. And you know about for what else? Who else? There's Oprah, obviously, in everything that is lifestyle, and you know that already. Or Oprah is our guru. There's my mom. My mom is surely a mentor. She taught me a lot of things in life. Like more now that I'm in distance than when I was with her. Yeah, and so many more people. Like obviously, I get inspiration from a lot of people. My sister inspired me as well, especially when I was very, very young. I get inspiration from my friends as well, like from you, from Iman, from other people. Like, yeah, I can get inspiration, find inspiration in so many people, even though they're not, no one is perfect, and so there's no one answer for the entire life, but Rasulullah is awesome. Yeah. How about you?
Wow. I'd say for you, it's the same for me. Like there's this Islamic mentors, you know. For me, you have the Islamic mentors, all right? You just keep them there. They are also important. It's not to say that they are not important, but they are just beyond any classification for me anyway. And then when it comes to life, yeah, it's Oprah. I'm trying to learn more from Ariana Huffington. Because she is trying to redefine success and what success means based on like well-being and happiness and other metrics which seem interesting to me. So yeah, I think both of them are ladies, and I'm really inspired, not mentored by Bill Gates reading lists. So it's not just him, but he's reading lists, his books. But I wouldn't say he was my mentor, but Ariana Huffington, yes, I do read her every time. But I also, there's one, Aida, for instance, she is like, she gives me this sense of, I wouldn't say she's my guide, but more of, yeah, an inspiration to how to live your life and how to carry on living your life in this modern life. That would be
How about you guys? Malika is still with us. Thank you for being here. How about you? We're wondering who are your mentors or who inspire you in life. Just let us know.
Yes, please. You can interact in the chat, and if you want to share, of course, you're not obliged to.
Yeah,
but we would
or
like
answer a question. That would be nice. So you talked about Ariana Huffington, and I remember you read Thrive this year, earlier in the year, along with so many other books. You had a good year of reading, I guess. I know this is a tough question, but you're gonna have to do it. Like, what was your favorite read or your most inspiring one for the year?
For this year, that would be hard because I would have to pick from too many. So is it non-fiction?
You can pick one fiction and one fiction.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay, so non-fiction was a Nobel Prize economist, Abhijit Banerjee with Esther Duflo, and they wrote it about good economics for hard times. It explains sort of how is poverty, the evolution of poverty, and how we can overcome it. And what's interesting is they give you insights into many theories that could help us at least understand how the world is working. It's very, I mean, you hear that there are Nobel Prize laureates, but the book is written in a very simple way that you're just like, oh, this makes a lot of sense. That makes total sense, and it's easy to understand. Yeah, that would be for the nonfiction.
Mm-hmm.
As for the fiction, I think it would be Catch 22. It's here because it's the funniest book I ever read about war. So when you talk about war, you just like feel the dread and you're scared and so on. But in the Catch 22, which is an American classic, sort of, it's just so funny and I love it. It's so absurd, which is the case for war. So that makes a lot of sense, I hope.
It's interesting. You make me think of another fiction. This one is French fiction written by Pierre Lemaitre. It's called Au revoir là-haut. I don't know if you read it already, but if you enjoyed Catch 22, which I haven't read, by the way, I would like to, you're gonna like this one as well. It's same thing. It's actually post-war this time, but right after war, and it's the story of two soldiers who survived war, but with a lot of consequences, let's say, and with the entire society as well. And it's absolutely funny, absurd, but at the same time extremely dramatic, and you feel the drama through the humor. It's really the I love that book. I think in 2015 it was my favorite book of that year. Really, really recommend it. There's a movie adaptation out of that. That for once is a good movie adaptation, even though it's different, of course, and all of that. But it's really nice, and but of course I recommend reading the book first, at least, before jumping into the movie.
Yeah, definitely reading the book.
Okay, so
we have an answer.
Yes. Okay, so Monica is saying that she personally doesn't have one specific mentor, but every successful person with a strong mindset inspires me. Well said. Totally agreed. Yeah.
It's a strong mindset. Yeah. Yes, mental strength. I agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to who just joined. And
okay, so let's have a question, right? I am asking you this time. Yeah, we'll just like have to go for the fluffy, nice questions. So tell me, Salwa, what was the best present you received in 2020? What was it? The best thing you received that you like?
Are you talking about material things or?
You pick. I mean, I don't mind.
I don't know. A lot of great things this year, honestly. I consider friendship a present. Yeah, so if we're talking about like in general, that would be hard. If it's just a physical present, that would be a little bit easier already. And that would be that thing over there, which is the mic bed that I use for the podcast, which my friends bought me for my birthday, as you know, and you've been conspiring with them on that note, by the way. Thank you for that. I love the letters that I received this year. Amongst them, your letter for my birthday, which threw me out of, I was totally surprised. Yeah, well, once more, it takes very little to surprise me into. So yeah, for sure, a lot of good mechanism. Yeah. So yeah. How about you? How about you?
About me, presents. Did I receive any? I think I did. I received few presents, but the best present I received this year was a book, of course. It was a book. Actually, I didn't receive it. I won it. So, sort of won it. And it's here. It's so I have a problem. I don't read a lot of Moroccan writers, any books, non-fiction. So this was a present from one of my friends. It's Abdullah Al-Arwi, Raison et des raisons. It's a translation of Ibn Khaldun. I've already read translations by Ibn Khaldun, but I think this
Mhm.
one is going to make me feel closer to my country, inshallah. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's the best thing I think.
Yeah, beautiful. A book is always a good idea. Shout out to the friends. All
Yes,
right. Okay. My next question is more
mm-hmm.
about habits, and we have a whole episode talking about picking up good habits on the show a little bit
Mm-hmm.
earlier this year.
Yes.
Um, I would like to know which new habit you picked up this year that was really positive and helped you in your life.
Mm. The habit that I picked up. So I am already an early riser, so I'm an early bird, but I'll just wake up at 6 a.m. and that's it. And I would consider myself an early bird. Last year, I was waking up at 5 a.m. every single day, which was a new habit, challenging, but I really liked it. I especially enjoyed the first calm hours of the day. So, so nice to just sit by yourself when everyone is sleeping and where are they sleeping and you're just there and really nice, really nice. So that's one habit I picked. How about you? What did you pick as a habit?
Now I'm curious about what you do at 5 a.m., but that would be another question.
Maybe.
uh, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You have that picked up. Um, does it have to be new? I would say more consolidate than pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think the thing that made most difference this year is make sure I start my day either with a meditation session or a yoga session. And that really did a big difference because however the day is hard, there's always that source of peace and serenity that I can tap into and be like, okay, I have space in me. There's a place of peace in me. Um, and talking about, realizing that you're stronger the way you are, meditation and yoga really help develop that and enrich that in a lot of ways and discover how you are and put words, like a lot of words into that. Is it resilience? Is it letting go? It's a form of strength for me, by the way. Is it
Yeah.
um, tenacity? Is it, and you start putting words into different things and different tools that you need in life. And whenever you need one, you can tap into that and be like, okay, this is what I need right now. I know I practice that at some moments. And it doesn't happen that consciously, it's just you got it there and you do it. But the fact that you have a word on it and later on, once I reflect upon that, it's like, okay, that was thanks to this, thanks to that. And
Yeah.
showing up every moment, every morning on the mat does wonders. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was a game changer.
I should go back there, I think. Okay. Um, so my other question would be related to to the EVP. So tell me, what's your favorite episode?
Ooh, you know the answer.
Which one? Let's say it.
um, as you know, guys, we have a lot of types of episodes. We have regular ones when it's just Sophia and I. We have guest episodes, and then we have the small extra episodes, which are either Sophia's book reviews or my sort of meditation letters, whatever. And I especially enjoy the guest episodes and having people over and talking to other people. And this is unfair to all our guests because I really genuinely enjoyed all our discussions. But listening to them, I just love listening to Medina's episode. For some reason, the flow is so perfect somehow and so natural that I really, really enjoy listening to that episode. It
Mhm.
has everything for me. It has deep conversation, it has light-hearted parts, it has laughs, it has honest talk,
Mhm.
and in the game once more. It has a little bit of music, so I really enjoyed it.
I know why.
No, that's just an extra. I still get what you would say.
Yeah,
But
I get
yeah,
it.
every episode is really unique, so that is not easy to say. Like,
Hmm.
that's not an easy choice to make. How about you?
Honestly, and mine, I really enjoy all of the guests episodes. Fatima, Hafsa, and Camelia, Aida, Medina, all of them. Even Fatima Zahra, she's coming soon as well, inshallah. But one of my favorites is yours, actually. It's the Before Dawn, Allowing Miracles in Your Life. I really loved it. That I was just sending messages to my friends. You have to check this. You have to listen to this. It's really nice. And I really enjoyed it. It's so raw, so it's very genuine, and it comes from a deep place. You feel it. It comes from the heart. So thanks for that.
Thank you. Thank you. It does break my heart. Now that this is one of those moments I can just start crying, but I'll try not to. Keeping up with the EBP.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I wanted to know how working on this podcast helped you grow in your own personal life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It okay. So the autonomy that comes with working on your own project, meaning the Early Birds podcast, teaches you that we go back to the other lesson, which is it's only you who give value to yourself, and you're the only one who value your work. It comes back to it again in a sense that working on a project, it's up to you to make it worth it. It's not, you don't have to wait for others to tell you, yes, it's the greatest thing that's now out there, it's the best
Mm.
podcast or anything, but it's up to you to define it. And that comes with the autonomy that you have. So it's this freedom that I learned and that I never, because I've been studying for since 1998 or something like that. So I was being
I mean, like, wait, my entire life, it's like you're looking at your
I'm still studying.
life.
I'm still
Alhamdulillah.
studying.
I
I'm
know.
like I'm talking about the academic studies and stuff. So when you try something, a project that you don't have a boss, I think we are both partners, so we are on equal grounds here, I think. Middle grounds. So yeah, there's a freedom that comes with it that you don't know before, that you haven't experienced before. And that's very inspiring for personal projects, personal life, or anything that it's independence mainly, teaching you to be just independent. I talked a
Mm.
lot, sorry. But
No, that
I
was nice.
answered the question.
That's really interesting. No,
How about you?
I never put it that way, but it does describe the feeling I have. Like the empowering feeling I get every Sunday, and that I go with every Monday to work, thanks to these sessions. It's definitely that I feel empowered thanks to these projects and the fact that we are building our own thing, that we are making our own decisions, that even, just setting a critical planning and trying to stick to it. And it just makes me happy and genuinely proud of ourselves. Like sometimes I'm just looking at the mirror and I'm like, we have a little planning for next year. You're hard to that, It's as dumb as that.
Yeah,
While at work, you really, step at the fact that I did this or that, or that I have skill or that one. It just, somehow because it's not your own projects, I feel like taking that away from me. But doing this, I reclaim all those tools and the identity somehow. Reclaim
mm,
yourself. Another episode of the Early Words podcast.
yeah. Reclaim your heart. That reminds me of Yasmin Mujahid, her poetry book, if you know it. It's really nice. Huh.
Yeah, of course. Not just poetry, by the way. And you remember we had another episode called Reclaim
Yeah, reclaim
Yourself.
your value. It's reclaim your value, I think.
Oh,
That's the lesson for 2020. That was the lesson.
mm, Reclaim Your
Oh,
Value.
very nice.
My- mm.
Okay. Um, so besides your mic, Okay, what's your favorite thing that you own and why? Because I know you're just like, oh, I don't care because I can record with it and everything. So no, I want another thing.
Um, Easy. I
Yes.
just, I love my books, obviously, and all of that.
Mhm.
Typewriter and all of that, all unique things, and I'm very grateful I have them. But my violin is the most precious thing I have.
You have it
Plus,
near you.
so it's like it has a soul of its own, and it's almost alive, and I miss it, and I hug it, and I swipe out dust over it, and it's a unique relation. Like when I have it on me, I feel like okay, now I'm complete. Like something, like a hand was missing or something. So I really, really have a strong connection to my violin. I'm looking at it right now and talking to you. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? If you have it nearby, can you play it for 2 minutes or something?
Are you crazy? You're
I've
kidding.
never heard you play. I think we have to host a session where you play. How about
Right.
that?
Why not? Yeah, it's not the best quality over like the phone and all of that, but inshallah, why not?
It is.
Yeah, that's the magazine piano. I know it. Yeah,
Malika is in.
maybe at the end of the session.
So
We'll
I
play.
think Malika, you have my word, inshallah. We're gonna make her play in 2021. I'm just going to add that in planning when she will be sleeping. And you are going to practice, my friend.
I really have no problem playing for people, but I don't like it over the phone or over the internet because really the sound is really not nice and
Yeah, I
beautiful
know.
thing music because the
But we
sound that's missing.
yeah, but we can find, so we cannot just do it.
We'll find a way. Inshallah, when
Yes.
all is over, we'll find a way.
Yeah, we can come to Spain, Malika, and play for you.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
How about you, Sophia? Your most precious thing?
I own. Oh,
Mm.
that would be my phone. That would be like I don't have to think twice about it. That would be my phone because it has books, it has contacts, it has all the sweet, nice memories. I only keep the good memories, by the way, in my phone. So yeah, and I feel home whenever I have it on me. So no matter where I am, if I have my phone, I'm fine. I'm just home. I feel like I'm home. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, I understand. My God, we're so entitled to our phones nowadays. But
Yeah.
as long as it's in a good way, tant mieux. Alhamdulillah.
What?
Okay.
Thank you,
Yay.
Malika, for this. Thank you.
Inshallah, we'll be there. I've never played in Spain. No, I did. I did actually in a museum. It was out of the blue, but that's another story. Hmm. In Canada. Okay, my turn to ask a question. Um,
hmm
if you could, okay, this one is less cheered up, we'll say, but anyway, it's
hmm
important. If you could do one thing differently, like if you could go back in time and do one thing differently this year, what would it be?
This year, I can do different. Honestly, I have a hard time because par défaut, I am someone who doesn't have regrets. So when I do something, I'm really convinced. So there's no going back. But if there's one thing I could change, I don't know. I have always acted on my own impulses, hence Impulsify as a as a blog. But if I had to change one thing, I don't know. Um, I don't know. I would tell you something cheesy, but to stop the COVID. But I've learned a lot during this confinement, so it's very hard for me to find something I want to change.
Okay, here's
Sorry,
one thing
but
I would do
it's hard.
differently.
I can't find it.
Alhamdulillah. Here's one
Alhamdulillah.
thing I would do differently this year. Get this. but you know the importance of this, but I would sleep earlier because I feel like I missed a lot of good sleep this year. And
Wow.
that's a project for 2021. Like, you know what? Growing older, I feel like I'm making more decisions like this than decisions like, big kind of decisions. Hi, Iman. It's so good to see your hair. Long time no see, Iman.
Iman! Hi!
Sophie is really thrown out the window.
Wow.
I haven't seen Iman since, I don't know, 2015. Same. Like, that was
Same.
the year.
Wow.
We hope you're good. Thank you for joining the talk. We're wrapping up our year. And hi, Sophia. So yeah, sleep earlier. That's
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
Your turn.
Yeah. Okay, I'll ask you a question. Yeah, do you have any regrets, Selwa? Because for me, it's very hard to have regrets. How about you? Have any regrets?
I feel like I'm very alike. We're very alike on that. I'm not a person who has regrets in general in life. Sophia is saying hi to Sophia. How cool
Yes, I
is
like
that?
that.
Um, Only all the early birds. So yeah, I just a lot like you. In general, I'm very convinced about things I do, and even though it turns out not very well, I still feel like alhamdulillah, because I always feel like whatever is happening to us is the best thing. I just
Yeah.
don't always understand why. So the problem is understanding it, not it in itself. I have that belief. I have a strong belief in life that like we're always having the best version of our lives, and that Allah is always making us in the right place. So there's nothing to be regretful about in
Mhm.
as matter of in destiny wise. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's because there was a moment in my life when I was really young where I would always be imagining all the different scenarios and be like, what if I did this? What would happen? And then trying to figure out what would happen all the way down the road, like, go down the rabbit hole, like in
Mhm.
Alice. That is crazy. I fell through that.
Yeah.
And I live in much more serene way like this, not having
Mhm.
regrets.
No,
Really not.
no pressure. True.
No.
I think when you are younger, you're just like, if I only I could do that, change the world and do this, and instead of going for this, do something else. Yeah, that's very true. That's very
Yeah.
adolescent vibes
And
anyway.
I guess it's more mature
Yeah,
somehow.
we're maturing.
I hope. Okay,
Yeah.
your turn for a new question. Or was that the
Mhm.
question? Was that your question
Yeah, that
about
was the
regret?
question. Yes,
Okay.
that was the question. That's
Okay.
the shortest
Right.
question.
Okay, then
Mhm.
my turn. By the way, we are soon wrapping up, I guess, this live.
Mhm.
We have about 10 minutes. So, thank you, Marika, for sticking around. Yeah, I hope you get something out of this. Got a
Yeah.
few more questions and we'll be off. Okay. Trying to pick one out of my list.
Mhm.
So, are you the same person you were in January? And I guess not. And mostly, how have you changed?
What again?
Okay, the question is, are you the same person you were in January 2020? And if not, obviously, how have you changed?
Okay, so before I answer, Iman, so this live is about wrapping up 2020. So in order to just end the year, I know we're in 2021, but we wanted to welcome this year with a lot of gratitude. So we've prepared questions to ask each other, questions about last year, about life in general, but mostly about last year, that help us focus on the positive things we've learned. And because we felt it's so sad and it's unfair that 2020 should be treated so disgracefully as it was. So that's why we did it.
Okay.
And
Well,
coming
welcome
back
to
to
the
your question, comment?
welcome to the conversation. I just wanted to add that. Internet is off.
Yes.
Great.
Ahlan,
Okay.
Ayman. Okay, so
Also, last thing, if you also would like to ask us a question, you're free to do so. If you like to answer a question, you can do that as well. You're welcome, Iman.
yes.
Okay,
All right.
go ahead.
So we go back to your question, and you're asking if I changed, if I'm not the same person from last January. Definitely not. I'm not the same person. I've just like in January, life was so I'm not going to say easy, but it was very normal. And in March, all of a sudden, we are all confined and so on. So I learned, I've sort of developed an introversion. I'm feeling more comfortable being an introvert right now. And this I didn't know about myself. Before, I would just go out, have a lot of outdoors activities and so on. I never took the time to sit with myself. But when I did, I was like, no, so I'm not a bad person, you know. I'm just like, my company is really still nice. So I think that's the thing that changed. How about you?
That's interesting. Iman is saying that 2020 was indeed a difficult year, but there's always good things to remember for sure. Yeah, totally agree on that. How did I change? I feel like a lot. Um, yeah, you're right, Iman. Like, I feel like I'm much more grateful for just the simplest things that I always had a lot of aspiration, motivation, and ambition for everything. And that right now I'm like, as I said before, like my vision of success has changed, and that sometimes a quiet day, just being healthy and in a safe place, and you got food, you know, that hadith, that of Rasulullah is everything you need that day, and it's really good. It's great. It's not just a normal day. It's a great day. Alhamdulillah. That's the definition of yeah, like dawam al-khair, and that's not something I was this aware of, and I feel like I've changed because of that. So my vision of success, of which life is most successful, of ambition, of being impactful, all that changed tremendously this year. And the more into quiet success, if that's correct, it's into slowing down and not necessarily being into rushing and doing as many things as possible, but rather taking the time and bringing a lot of intention and heart into little things, and that's the most important part about it. And then impact of all of that is Allah's blessing.
That's true.
It's not a direct consequence that you do. So yeah, my definition of success is finding and doing what feels good.
Good.
That's it.
True. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't have to. There's an answer by Sophia, because I am Sophia. Sophia is going to read Sophia's answer. So, 2020 has taught me to value things that I used to take for granted. Yes, definitely. It has helped us all sort of shape who we are and take the time to know the worth of the things that you have already, and just that everything that you need is not outside of your reach or outside of you. Everything is inside first, and you manifest the things that are inside. So yeah, thank you.
Yes.
What's success for you now? Yes, that's a question for you, Selwa. What's success for you now?
Yeah, and I was trying to read along while talking. That's why I told you at the end that for me right now, it's finding and doing what feels good, and that's it. There isn't an image to it. It's really because it's really about reconnecting to your heart and to your guts, and doing that thing that feels good, and not worrying about how it looks and if it fits a vision you hold in mind, or every stereotype you grew up with, or that doesn't matter anymore. Life is so short, and yeah, that's
All
that.
right.
Okay.
Fine. Sorry, my internet sucks.
It's okay. I guess your turn, and maybe it would be your last question, then afterwards my last question, and we'll wrap up pretty soon, inshallah. That'll be
Inshallah. Okay. So I want to know, what was the best feedback you got about the EBP? What was the best compliment or the best feedback? Because feedback, for me, the best feedback, I don't know about you, but the best one is the constructive one, the critical one, the ones that pinpoints the issues. So what was the best feedback you got so far?
Wow, that's a tough one. We have a lot of feedback, alhamdulillah, and I have a file for that on my phone, like screenshots whenever we get feedback, and so at some point at the end of the year we'd share that. When I say the end of the year, I mean the end of the season, inshallah. The best feedback. I think a lot of people agree on one thing. They always, or most people tell us that they feel like they're sitting with us when they're listening to the episode, and it's like they're sitting with their friends and talking about something, and sometimes they respond themselves as if they were in a real conversation. And our guest said something very similar as well, talking about the fact that they feel at home when they're recording with us. And for me, that is the greatest reward and feedback. Feeling safe to have an honest conversation and feeling friendly with people you barely know, you've never seen, and you only listen to, is some kind of quality I'm very thankful for. I'm saying this and I'm having goosebumps in my body. So whatever you take out of that, I don't know what you'll learn, guys, if you learn something, but if you're just having an enjoyable moment, it's like you're with your friends or at home, that's already amazing.
True. Yeah, that's really cool. Warms my heart.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. The last one I wanted to ask you is which are 3 words that you can give to describe this past year? If you had to wrap it up in 3 words.
Mm. Yes. Stillness, all right, and how can I say it in English? Gentleness, sort of something that's gentle, but also challenging. It's like some soft power thing combination. So it was a powerful year, yet it was so soft because the world stopped, and then it was, I don't know how to describe it, but I hope you got the idea. It was tough, yet a great opportunity, but it was tough.
Yeah. All right, Iman. Have a safe flight. It was really lovely to see you here. Please contact us pretty soon. Have a safe flight. That's nice. For
How
me,
about you?
I was gonna start with challenging, but since you used that one, I'm gonna use a different one. Challenging, I'd say intense. Intensity, resilience, and self-love. This year was these 3 things.
Yeah, it was hard, challenging, very.
Exactly. It was intense because there was a lot of chaos everywhere. It was intense also on the personal level and on the professional level. And it was, what did I say? Resilience, because alhamdulillah, we're still here and not totally collapsing. So alhamdulillah, I did the PCR 5
Yeah.
all as well. And self-love, yeah, because I feel like that was the weapon needed to go through all of this.
True, a lot of it. I think big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah, I guess.
So, yeah, that's that.
There's that. Iman, you're late. We are wrapping up today's live. So thanks for
Oh,
all of those who joined us. And thank you, Salwa, for saving the day for the technical issue.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so it was really lovely to try to wrap up the year and try to see it from a bright side, to see things for what they really are. So yeah, grateful for this moment. Thank you so much. Thanks for all your feedback, exchanges, answers. Thank you so much. And
Thank
see you
you. Same back
soon.
at you. Yeah, see you on next Monday. Thank you guys for joining us. Iman, this live would be still on our page if you'd like to listen to it. It was a wrap up of the year. And one last thing, we talked a lot about last year, but for the next year, I told you, no problem. It's still going to be here and it's going to be on our YouTube channel, inshallah. So no problem. You can still listen to it and participate on the comments,
Yeah,
inshallah. So Sophia, what's your word for 2021? I
I
told you
told
mine.
you.
Yeah.
I told you last time. It's receiving. It's the same as you. It's allowing and more receiving than giving. I think I've spent the last years giving, so let me just.
And on that note, okay. All right. I wish you all a great end of the weekend, a great kickstart of the year and of your week. May Allah give us strength and serenity to go through whatever He planned for us. Inshallah, a lot of blessings and barakah. See you very soon, Sophia, for our next episode. And you guys can go check out our Instagram page for the latest. Salam. Okay, now I have to stop this while recording it, right? Please,
Okay.
please pray that I make that right.
Mhm.
Bye. Salam.